Oh, goodness. You know what? I am so sorry, guys. I'm still trying to get this going and make sure that everything is working right. So, sorry about that. You guys are checking out my... That's not gonna work, is it? Oh my goodness. I see much better. I can see your comments, which is great, but I cannot get you guys in my phone holder right, which is kind of a bummer. All right, so I had celebrated my wins in the last video of my 30-pound loss doing whole food plant-based and also doing the 108 sun salutations. And I still, since I didn't get to see it on the last one, I didn't get to see comments. I can see comments now. Please share your wins this last week. I want to see your wins. So tell me what happened to you this last week that was awesome, that was amazing, that was something to celebrate. I would love, love, love to see it. See what has gone well for you guys this week. Take a nice deep breath. Yay, I'm glad everything's looking good. I do want to hear your wins though. Come on guys, what have you guys been doing this week that's been going good for you? Share with me, tell me what's happening. Hey everybody. All right, so I had mentioned before that I was gonna have a videographer, my son. He ended up having to leave town. Thank you, Janissa, for the congrats. He had to leave town earlier than expected. So I'm doing this all on my own. I don't have a videographer to help. So just know that it's just me, myself, and I. And thank you for the beautiful compliment, Heidi. I still want to see your guys' wins. Come on, tell me what's happening. Tell me what's happening. I redesigned my sister-in-law's great room with new artwork, carpet, and furniture. Who is that? Donna. Awesome job, Donna. Making efforts to reevaluate your own health, Tara. Sweet. And in addition to working my full-time gig, I taught 2 yoga classes, Cindy. Woohoo! I made it through, Kenneth. Woohoo! My outreach is going so good. Exercise, love, Larissa. Oh, I love it. And I got initiated in my priestess journey yesterday. Janissa, congratulations. That's exciting. So exciting. And Judy is writing again. Yay. Thank you, Maureen. Michelle teaches chair yoga on Zoom. You took 2 weeks off because of tech problems. Got back to it this week and tech problems fixed. Yay. Heidi. When is that I was able to get into one of the top rehab center. Good job. Congrats. Hillary. Something cool is actually happening today. Robert and I will be recording our radio show at our old high school. It is something pretty profound in many ways. That is super neat. Oh my gosh, that's going to bring back old feelings, old memories, all of that. You've had a rough week, Nancy. You're still alive and fighting. All right, keep going. Glad to hear that you're still feeling the fight. Kathy found a great exercise program on YouTube. Taught piano lesson for kids, Larissa. Hello, hello. Ordered a new crystal table. Ooh, Donna, that's exciting. Able to get my dad in to one of the top rehab centers. Oh, that's awesome, Heidi. Poured some awesome resin crystal skulls that I'm really, oh, Molly, that's so cool. I know, is it Larissa that's also doing that? No, Tiffany. Tiffany Jackson is also pouring resin and really getting into that. And you got your first quartz singing bowl, Angela. How cool is that? Okay, I am going to forward a little bit again. I had someone else ask me. They might not have seen my win earlier that I spoke about, but I've been doing pure whole food, plant-based, no oil, no nuts, of course, no sugar, meat, or dairy, lots of veggies and beans and Thank you, Janissa. I made these earrings actually. I found the abalone shells on a beach here. I live in Mendocino County, California, and I found them on a beach in the town of Mendocino, right on the coast, on a beach there. And so I made them into earrings. Yeah. Okay, let's get into what we're doing here. Supplies. I will show you what I got going on here. I have some beads. These are little angelite beads. I think they're 6 millimeter. A lot of times I work with, they are probably 6 millimeter because this is what I have been working with, which is 8 millimeter, and either's fine. I just happen to have these. Some people prefer the 6 millimeter, but I got angelite beads. And then I've got titanium covered little, here, let's see if I can get a good close up of that. Little Buddha head beads. They're titanium covered hematite. So I'm gonna use those. And then I've got these tiny little spacer beads, little copper spacer beads I'm gonna use too. So, got beads. Also, I'm using, the brand is Simply or Purely Silk. I think there's also Simply Silk is another brand, but the main thing is not that one. The main thing is you want to make sure that it's size FFF, because what happened is with this one, the first one I ever bought, which is double F, the knots weren't big enough to hold the beads in between, and that's why I suggested the triple F. I'm going to use this for the tassel, to mix in the tassel, because I'm going to make a multicolored tassel. So that's how I'm going to end up using up my double F. But the triple F is what we're going to use for the main portion of what we're doing. And then you're going to need a tape measure. I'll be working in inches because, you know, I'm American and Americans do things backwards. Also know, since I'm teaching a lot, I won't be able to see all of the comments. I'll do my best. If there is somebody who wants to moderate and like help pin messages to get my attention, if there's something that I really, really need to pay attention to, that would be awesome. So I know like Jessica Lay did that for me on another video, and she was able to pin a couple messages for me so that they didn't pass by me. So that would be awesome if somebody's willing to do that. Oh, you don't have a tape measure, Kathleen. Trying to think if there's something else that could, do you know something around in your house that you know is X amount of inches in length? If so, use that as your guide. You know, like if you know something is 12 inches, or if you know something is exactly 3 feet, or whatever it is, use that as your guide. That's the best only accommodation I can say for that. Oh, look at that, Angela. A dollar bill is 6 inches. Boom, love it. Do that. Good one. I love that. All right, some good scissors that can cut thread. Oh, back to the thread. I also wanted to say, if you don't have silk, that's okay. A lot of people make them out of nylon. I like the idea of silk because it's all natural and it is very strong. Cotton isn't as strong, and you're more likely to actually break the mala at some point. Like the thread will actually kind of rip and tear apart. So nylon or silk is best. I was suggesting in the group the silk. All right, and beading needles. This is the kind that I have. I know I posted in the group, so hopefully you have something like that or similar that will fit through the whole of your bead, and in addition to the thread that we're using. So that is another supply that you're gonna need, and I'm just gonna give you a few examples because we're gonna come up with the pattern that you wanna do. And so like when we're threading on our beads, I don't know if you can, this is actually not a good example because the colors kind of blend to each other. Let me show you this one. This is our Vetsanite. These 6 beads at the bottom of our Vetsanite, and then the 3 up top, and then the rest is quartz crystal. But what we're gonna do is pretend like this is one line starting from here all over to here. So you're gonna have 27 beads in total. So think about your pattern, how you want to do that, and I'll go through that with you. So that's just an example. There's different kinds of patterns. I did 3, 3, and 3 on this one. This one is my personal one that I decided to keep. This is just 1 and 1, and then I have this one as my guru bead at the bottom. And so you're gonna want 27 plus a guru bead. And then this one, you've got the Auralite 23 up to this point, and then the rest up above is all quartz crystal. So just giving you some ideas of how you might want to make your pattern. This one is pretty similar to one of the others. I just got the 2 different ones in the middle and then that same one as my guru bead. And I guess I kind of like that, having the 2 here and then the one as the guru bead. And same with this one. So I'm gonna set those aside for now. And what else? Mala, I want to give you a little education because, you know, what's a class without some education? Mala, ma means unconditional love and la means garment. So mala is unconditional love for a garment, which you can, oh, thank you, Jennifer, which you can wear if you make a 108 bead one. 54 bead, you might be able to also, where Sheila, Colin has a question about where you like to get your beads. Etsy, different Etsy. I don't have a particular Etsy dealer that I say that's the one, but I just scroll around and depending on how quickly you want your beads depends on where you're going to get it from. Like pay attention to what country it comes from. Because, you know, if it comes from China or India, it's going to take a lot longer to get to you. So it just depends on the timing, if you're paying attention to that, if that matters to you. I keep freezing, but the comments keep on. I'm going to go bonkers. I'm sorry, Nancy. I know I have good internet connection here, but maybe lives are a little bit different, so I don't know. All right, so we mala. We can do, as we know, malas have 108 beads, typically, one of the larger ones, and the reason for 108 is because we have 108 chakras in our body. We have the main 7 that we're familiar with, you know, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, but all the other ones, you know, all through our hands and all throughout all of our body, all feed into those main 7 chakras, with the heart being our very center that all the chakras feed into. And so if you say a mantra 108 times, the idea is that the energy of that mantra is going to be instilled throughout your whole body and through every cell in your body. So you decide what you want to do depending on the number of beads you have, or depending on the time or patience or whatever you might have. 108, you can do 54, which is half of that. You can do 54 bead mala, and I'll give you the links of thread that we're going to do for each. And then you can also do what I'm going to do for time's sake is a 27 bead mala. And then you would end up going around 4 times to do a 27 bead mala. So for time's sake, I'm going to do 27. And because I like them, because you can easily put them in your pocket, in your purse. They're, you know, if you're going to go travel somewhere, you don't have a big honkin' mala, etc. Nancy has a question, and whether you want to stick with the 27 bead mala. Yep, I'm doing 27 beads for this class, but you may feel free to do 54 or 108 if you like. Just when I get to the end of the 27, you'll still be continuing on, and then you would just have to rewatch later if you want to actually follow along for how to actually put it together, add the guru, create the tassel, add the tassel, and all of that. So, yeah, well, this one doesn't make, it's a little too big for a bracelet, and I've got quite a big wrist, so it'd be hard to wear this one as a bracelet. You can wear a 108 bead one as a bracelet where you wrap it over like 4 times or so, 4 or 5 times. So this one is difficult to wear as, I mean, unless, you know, of course see how easily it comes off. Okay. So if you're doing 108 bead mala, I want you to cut 208 inches of thread. If you are doing a 54 bead mala, I want you to cut 140 inches of thread. And if you're doing a 27 bead mala like me, I want you to cut 60 inches of thread. So I'm gonna cut mine. And I know I'm not the only expert in this group, so if anybody in this group has suggestions or ideas or different ways, definitely feel free to comment and add those. I'm not offended. We are all teachers here. So, okay, I got my 60 inches. And when you have your thread cut, I want you to put your two ends together. Put your two ends together. And then what we're gonna do is about 6 to 8 inches from the end, I want you to just tie a regular knot, nothing fancy, just a regular, normal knot. Like that. Okay, so it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it. There you go, against my forehead. So just a regular knot. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna, if you're right-handed, I'm gonna put the knot to my left side and then the other end on my right hand. And I'm gonna let that kind of hang over my table over there. And then I'm going to get my beading needle. And you guys let me know if I'm going too fast. I'm gonna try to not go too fast. Sage Goddess is here. Is that Athena or is that Alexis? Who is with us? Okay. So now I've got my little looped in. Here, I guess I gotta use my forehead as a background. All right, looped in, and then you can see the needle. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. Yep, oh, forehead. Nope, that didn't work. Oh, neck works. Get the loop end of your needle, and you're gonna, of course, I got eyes over 40. You're gonna loop that through. Just like so. Someone's confused. What can I help with? After we cut, what do we do? Okay, I'll show you. So after you cut, you're gonna double over your string, just like so. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're gonna put a knot, just a single little knot. See that little knot right there in the middle of my forehead? About 6 to 8 inches from the end. Okay. Okay, you're still measuring. I'm gonna hold off then. You need the length again, Michelle. So if you're doing 108 bead mala, you want to cut 208 inches. If you're doing a 54 bead mala, you wanna cut 140 inches. And if you wanna do a 27 bead mala like I am, you need 60 inches. And yes, Heidi, this is being recorded and it will be posted in this event. Okay. So while people are catching up, let's see, I took some notes, so I'm seeing if there's anything that I can kind of catch you up on a little bit. I think I'm good and caught up on notes. And while people are catching up, since we were talking about people's successes, how did you make the loop? I made the loop because I doubled over the thread. So I did 60 inches and then I just doubled it over, knotted it on one side, and then so the loop side is the side that I added my needle to. You see that? I think I need darker skin so I can show some contrast. And of course the outside doesn't help because it's all bright out there. we do the knot from the end, knitting the single pieces. You do the knot on the two ends like this. And then there you can see the knot right on my neck. Okay. So cut length, fold in half, make a knot on the loose ends, 6 inches from the end. Use the looped end to thread needle. Thank you, Teresa, for the clarification. Okay, how are we doing, you guys? Are we ready to start adding some beads? You guys tell me. All right, while I'm waiting to hear back if we're ready to do beads, there's a couple options. Sometimes, like mine is straight 27 beads. Some people, what they do is they do 27 regular, and then they have one that's a different size on these that aren't the actual beads that you meditate with. They're just ones to kind of give you a marker that you've made it that far and that's where you're at along. So you could do 27 plus the 2 if you wanted. Or you can do just straight 27, which is how I do it. So even though this one's slightly larger and I can feel that when I go around, I still use that as a meditation one. All right, looks like we're ready. Woo, yay, the fun part. Let's add some beads. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna add all 27 beads. We're not adding our knots yet. Okay, so start adding your beads. And this is where I'm gonna forehead wear my glasses. So I'm just adding them on and then letting them fall down to that knot at the bottom there. See that? And I'm just gonna kind of straighten that thread there. Okay. Three, 4. So what I'm gonna do, and I'll show you here, is I'm gonna do 6, and then I'm gonna add 1 other bead, like that. So I'm doing 6, and then I'm doing, if you're doing various colors, this is how I'm doing it. I'm doing 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm doing my other bead, and then I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, which we have 13 moons in a lunar cycle. So 13. Ashley is saying she is lost. What part are you lost on, Ashley? I'm gonna start kind of looking for your comments. Let me know. I think, you know, there's probably a little bit of a delay, as, you know, we see like when Athena does her readings. There's a delay in comments for them to get to me. So just know that I am looking. Oh, getting the needle on. Oh, all right. Well, mine got a little bit twisted there. Let me do this a little bit more slow mode. Okay, so there's my loop. Here's my loop and the needle. See that? So I'm putting that loop through the loop of the needle. Hard to do this right here like this. And then pulling it through. See that? Does that make sense? Please let me know if that made sense to you and that worked for you. Asking you to show again how to do the, okay, yeah. Oh, you watched the lavender wand making. They are beautiful. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I can't wait till we start getting more lavender coming in. I might have to make some more. All right, so I'm gonna keep adding my beads on. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Thank you, Michelle. This was from Soul Shift last year, the crown. This is the Angelophos symbol. Can you see it? It's like an upside down triangle with 2 circles for integration that Athena taught us, so that we can integrate our knowledge into practice. So we can integrate crown energy. We can integrate spiritual energy. And with this being a crown chakra crown made with crown chakra quartz. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, I'm trying to keep up on the comments as I am adding my beads. You know what? I'm technically ready for bifocals, but my brain is not. Whenever I switch visions, you know, between different lenses, I get the most horrible vertigo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 2 more. 13. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, great. Just want to make sure I'm still on it here. If we wanted to knot between each bead, would we need more thread? No, actually the numbers of inches that I gave you is giving you enough extra thread to make knots, and we will be making knots here in a little bit. We're just gonna add all of our beads first, and then we will do all the knots. You have the bifocal line. Very easy to move the eyes down to read, can't see. You know, I tried actually, and like even just going to the eyeglass store just to try on their clear ones, the ones that don't have any prescription in them at all, and I try on several, going back and forth and doing that, I come out of there with like horrible vertigo. I hate it. So I'm super ultra sensitive to that stuff. Good morning, Melissa. You just joining us? We're a little bit part way in already. So hopefully you can go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm almost done beading. How are you guys doing? Let me know how you're doing with adding your beads, especially those who are, if you're making, is there anybody making 108 bead mala? Let me know. Because if you are, I'll let you know. I'm literally dropping shit everywhere, Janessa. I'm sorry. You're considering LASIK? You have to do that awake. That scares the shit out of me. Like just going in and when they do like the air pressure thing on the eyeballs, I'm just like, just popping in to check you out. It's nice to see you, Melissa. All right, there are some people doing 108. So Nancy Campbell, since I see your name, when you get all 108 beads on, will you let me know so I can use that as a guide of when to wait for those making 108 malas? And then when we get to the knotting, I won't be able to wait for you to finish through the knotting, so you will have to just watch along, and then, you know, you could rewatch that ending part. But I will wait for you to get the beads on, because waiting for all the knots would be way too time consuming. So thank you, Nancy. All right. When you do have all your beads on, you can take your needle back off and save it, put it someplace where you won't lose it. These are easy to lose, very easy to lose. So make sure you put it someplace that you can find it, no problem. So I'm just gonna show you what I have so far. This is what I have. And so what it's gonna end up looking like is this. And then plus we'll end up tying these two together after we've done all the individual knots in between. And then we'll add a guru bead, and then we'll create the tassel, and we'll tie the tassel on and all that. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I am curious how you do this. I knot after each bead as I add them. Ah, well then you're gonna learn something new. Cool, cool. So while we're waiting for Nancy to get her full 100, not just Nancy, but all those who are doing 108 beads, I want to hear some more stuff from you. How long does the thread need to be? If you're doing 108, you need 208 inches of thread. Jen is you're making me laugh. So while we're waiting for those who are doing 108 to add those beads, let me celebrate some more of your guys' wins. I liked that earlier when we were able to do that. Which needle size are you using? Yeah, celebrate your wins. I want to see them. Let me know what some awesome things happened to you. I am using their size medium, and they are 6.4 centimeters or 2.5 inches in length. So feel free to, let's see if I can get that into, feel free to screenshot that if that helps. I don't know if that's in focus or not. I don't know. I'm using an iPhone. And also I did link on Amazon in the event page, a link where you can buy a pack of 3, especially if you're going to get into beading. These things don't last too long, so you're going to want multiple packs if you get into beading or making malas or whatever. Thanks so much. I have that pack, but I didn't know which one to use. Thanks. You're welcome. And it's backwards. What's backwards? I don't know what's backwards. I'm backwards sometimes. Sometimes I feel backwards. All right. Anybody got any wins this last week? Beautiful things that you'd like to share while we're waiting on the 108 beaders to add their beads? I'm just going back in the feed a little bit to see if there's anything I missed. The picture is reversed. Oh, okay. Well, when I do things, I will tell you whether it's left or right side. And I'll tell you what too, since I see you wanted to like help teach kids to do this as well. Melissa, you lost 20 pounds. Sweet. That is so cool. So cool. Since I saw you're wanting to do that, what I'm going to do is this video will be put into the, I did the dishes. Congratulations, Kenneth. I'm so freaking proud of you. I'll also put it in my YouTube as well. Ames Alchemy is my YouTube. If you do wire wrapping, the soft wire you have for beading can be bit in half and used the same as a bead-along needle. Oh, interesting. This class is a win, so thank you. You're welcome, Angela. I'm going to recommend that if someone else finishes their 108 to say so, because I am having fumbled fingers today, Nancy. Okay. So, oh, I'm sorry to hear. I know I have fibromyalgia as well, Nancy. And, I have to say that I actually got off, I was on Flexeril, and I took it every single night, which is a muscle relaxer. Took it every single night to help prevent fibro flares. And since I've been doing whole food plant-based very consistently, no cheats, although I did cheat, to be honest, about a couple weeks ago once, that decreasing the dairy and the meat, I haven't eaten meat in a few years, but decreasing the dairy has definitely made an impact, and I'm completely off Flexeril now. So that's another win I could share with you. Whose birthday is it? Wait a second, let me scroll. Joanne Stanley, happy birthday. Is it today? Oh, tomorrow. 62 young. Aw, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm so glad that you spent your weekend, some of your birthday weekend with me. You mowed the lawn for the first time yesterday since your gallbladder surgery. That's big, actually. That's really big. A lot of you know I'm a nurse as well, so I've taken care of people. And I've not had gallbladder surgery, but I've had my appendix out. So very similar as far as recovery goes. Is if I get this done, I've made my first mala. That's right, Kristie. Okay, any 108ers got your beads on? Who's got their beads on? Let me know, let me know, let me know. What kind of a nurse? I'm a registered nurse. Currently, I do nurse coaching. I've done med-surg, step-down ICU, ICU, outpatient, infusion center. I've done ortho. I've done home health. I've done hospice. I've done quality nursing. I've done quite a variety of nursing, and some of you guys know, maybe not everybody, I have what's called a primary immunodeficiency. It's not autoimmune. Autoimmune is an overproduction of the immune system where it attacks your own body. What I have is a primary immune, and it's an underproduction of the immune system. So my biggest issue is I don't produce antibodies or react to vaccines or exposure. So I could get exposed to chicken pox and not create antibodies specific to chicken pox, and then get exposed again a year later, and then bam. So I actually receive antibody infusions every 4 weeks from plasma donors. So anybody who has donated plasma, much, 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 much love to you for that, because that is what is keeping me healthy and strong. And especially being home and not having the exposure helps a lot as well. Yeah, my specific diagnosis, if you're really curious, interested about it, I do talk about it on my YouTube and on my personal page. You're welcome to check it out. But it's specifically called Common Variable Immunodeficiency, or CVID for short. And I've got a few videos on it, and I'll continue because I help others with primary immunodeficiencies, because there's over 200 to 300 kind, not just CVID. So how are we doing? Are we ready to move on? You used to do immunoglobulin infusions, Larissa? I'm feeling like I'm ready to move on. How y'all feeling? Let me know if we're ready to kind of start making our knots, because I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little education on the knots. What we're gonna do is between the knots, as I'm waiting, 108 done, woo! All right, so what we're gonna do as we do our knots is we are going to recite Om Shreem in between each knot. Om, of course, is the universal sound of all. Oh, you used to donate plasma, Larissa. Yes, I do remember you telling me about. Thank you. Okay, so Om is the universal sound of all, or some people say the sound of God, which is all, if you believe, and that's how you see God. Shreem is a bija mantra for Lakshmi, which is the Hindu goddess of abundance and prosperity. So as we make our knots, we want to say Om Shreem so that we have universal energy with abundance and prosperity. So if this is for you, then you are wishing universal prosperity and universal abundance for yourself. And if you're making this for someone else, then you are wishing that for whoever is receiving this. Okay, so response here. I know my camera's backwards, so you'll have to adjust in that way. I have my end here with the knot that I have on this side, and this is going to my left. And then I have the looped in on my right. And that's if you're right-handed. You can do it the opposite if you're left-handed. And so what I'm gonna do, you're gonna have to look at the bottom of the screen. Let's see if I can adjust that a little bit, but yeah, there we go. Bottom of the screen is we're gonna move all of these down, except for one. See how I've got one right there? We're gonna leave the one, and we're gonna move all of these down to the end. So just be careful, because we don't have this end knotted, so don't let them fall off, or else you'll have to restring it. Okay? So now we've got, here, let me smooth this over here and make sure we got a good image here. We've got this right here. We've got this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this string right here, and we're gonna cross it like this. You see that? So this is a little tricky, and it takes a few times to get it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach through that hole right there, and we're gonna grab that bead and pull it up. So then it's gonna look like a regular loop ready for a knot. You see that? So I'm gonna, you want me to do it again? Good idea. Okay, and it doesn't matter which way you turn it. I kind of turn my hand this way. It's kind of my natural tendency. And then cross it over, so you make a loop. And then when you've got your loop, you're gonna go through the hole and grab the bead so that you have, let me see if I can pick this up without making my beads fall off. So that you have this going on. That makes sense? If your comments are blocking the view, you can swipe the comments off to the right if you're on an iPhone. If you're on a different device, I don't know how to tell you how to get the comments out of the way. Let's see if I can maybe do this a little bit more too. Let's see if it'll stay. It's not wanting. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can. Someone gifted me this awesome phone holder. It's like I have like a little remote control where I can adjust the phone, which is really neat. I can't make it so that this is up here. I have to use the table. So if the comments are in the way, you'll have to swipe them off to the right. It looks like Droid does the same thing. All right. So I need to hear or see some confirmation that we've gotten to this point, because the next point is something else and you need to make sure that you understand this first. So let me know. Perfect now, thank you, Jennifer. Okay, and you're good there, Ashley. Okay. All right, so this is another part that you're gonna have to pay attention to a little bit. Someone asked me if you needed a tool to slide the loop down. I just use my finger. Excuse me, I just took a drink and it's kind of stuck there. You could also use a pen if that helps. I found I don't really need a pen, but just to show you, you can use the pen and just kind of slide it down to the base. I find it more difficult. I don't know, I can't use the pen. So with your finger, you're just gonna slide it down closer to the bead so that you're like this, so that there's less of a size of a loop. Does that make sense? Okay, and then when you've got your loop smaller and it's actually close to the bead right there, let me know. Well, hello there, kitty. She's like, you're doing something different. What's up? That's my candle. I'm sure you don't want that. You want to come say hello? Okay, so give me confirmation that we're at the, oh, there she is. This is Miss Kitty. If anybody saw, my neighbor added her into a quilt. So let me know that you're at that point. Lost, can you please do this again? Okay, I will. Okay, I'm gonna actually take out this loop and start over from this point. So I just have the single bead with the one knot on that one side, and we got to make the knot on the other side now. Okay, so I'm gonna grab it, make my loop, and then I'm gonna pull the bead through so that I have that going on. It was an incredible quilt, wasn't it? She's your 20-year Rosie, Joanne. She's a good cat. She keeps, my neighbor who made that quilt, yeah, lots of people swipe away the comments. The person who made the quilt just lost her husband, and my kitty goes in and out my doggy door as she pleases. We live in the country, and so she's been giving her comfort. She goes over there and lays on her deck, and she comes out and gives her love. All right, so I haven't gotten to the knotting part yet. So what we're doing is we're just gonna now bring this down to the bead. So see how I'm just kind of sliding and pulling just so that the knot is a little bit smaller, close to the bead. So there's a smaller loop there. And then what we're gonna do is, and I'll show you on the next one. So if there's still people who need reminder, I'll show you on the next one, okay? And it might take you a few times to get it, and that's okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually split the 2 threads. And we're gonna grab the 2 threads and pull, pull, pull until the knot becomes a knot. And as we do that, we say, Om Shreem, bringing in that universal abundance and prosperity of Om and the Hindu goddess Lakshmi. So I've pulled the 2 together. So now I will show you how I have a knot on each side. See that? I never knew my forehead was so useful. Okay. So now, if you didn't get it, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna slide a bead down. If you did get it, slide your bead down. Do the same thing through all of your beads. So if you've got it, go for it. If you don't, just keep watching me do it. Okay, so I'm folding it over, going through the loop. I'm gonna grab the 2 beads now and bring them over. Sometimes the other bead doesn't wanna go and you just kinda have to thread it over. And then with my finger, I'm gonna kind of move it down. I'm gonna separate the threads and go Om Shreem. Now I've got 2 and ready to do my 3rd. Okay, what's the advantage of this method versus tying each bead individually? I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's more beneficial for you to add each bead on individually. I don't know. This is the way I learned. And how tight do you pull the knot? You tie it as tight as you can make it, without being ridiculously hard and trying to break your thread. That's the best I can say it. Yeah, nice tight knots, because the tighter the knots, the less wiggle room you're going to have in between. Okay. So I made my loop, I'm going through and grabbing. This bead wants to be a little tricky, pulling it over. I'm trying to also make sure that I'm getting good visuals for you guys. Putting my loop closer to my bead, separating my threads, going Om, up. So see what just happened there? My bead got a little bit lost from the end right here. See that space? So I'm gonna pull it down, and this is actually kind of where a pen might come in handy. I'm gonna actually loosen this knot up so I don't accidentally make a knot that is too far away from the bead. So I'm gonna loosen it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna do it over again. Om, there we go, better. Om Shreem. And if your knots are not perfect, this is your first one, that is totally understandable. I would consider this a practice one. You could either start over and get new thread, or accept it and consider it imperfectly perfect, which we all are. But once a knot is made, the only way to get if you made a good tight knot, the only way is to cut it out, is to cut it off, and then you've made your full amount of string too short. So you would have to start over if you want to make it perfect. But yeah, one thing I did mention is that your first one is not going to be perfect. So if you want, you could practice with like plastic beads or something, if that matters to you. Or what I did too with my very first one. My first one was crap too. I still have it. And actually, these beads came off for my first one because I wasn't happy with it. And I went through and just individually cut between each bead and took all the beads off. And so I'm remaking this, actually, is what I'm doing. So this would be a good practice one. And then if you don't like it, and it's good to do several of them for practice. Like, I mean, go through a whole mala for practice, and by your second one, you'll be much better at it. So just continue to go on is what I would suggest. Go on, get through all of your beads in this one mala, work with it for a while, and then if you're unsatisfied with it, just cut off all the beads, and then the next one you make will be tighter, because after having gone through all of these knots, you're going to be much better at it. All right, next one I'll re-show again. Om Shreem. And then I always like to kind of, after I do each one, just kind of straighten out my thread again. Om Shreem. So I'm straightening back out again. Okay, just making sure that there's not any major questions coming up. And let me know if anybody needs me to go into slower detail again in between. Om Shreem. Om Shreem. You guys doing all right? Thank you for doing this in your shawl robe. What shawl robe? I don't remember. How long does the thread need to be if you do 108? 108, you would need 208 inches. Om Shreem. Oh, you like my shawl robe. Thank you. I love these little coveralls because I'm not as comfortable like in spaghetti straps because I'm just not fully comfortable with my body. So it's nice to wear something that's like super light and, you know, you can kind of see through it in the summertime. Okay, we're doing good, you guys. How many beads do you guys have on? Om Shreem. And then sometimes, I don't know if you can see that. I can't pull it up to show you up close, but sometimes the thread wants to go up over the bead and you just got to, with your finger, kind of move it the direction you want it to. Om Shreem. You took this week off for fun vacay, for one of your fun things to do? Awesome. You need to try one of Yasmina's. Oh my gosh, those are so gorgeous, aren't they? Om Shreem. Do you need more length if your beads are larger? Good point. If you're doing 6 or 8 millimeter, about the same is fine. If you're doing anything larger than that, then yeah, I would make it larger. After 23,000 tries, I finally got 2 knots. Janissa, you're dropping shit all over the place, and now you're doing 23,000 tries. Oh. All right. on, bead. There we go. Om Shreem. Shreem. This is so relaxing. I love doing these. Om Shreem. You're gonna be slow your first time, Sarah. Your cats would be attacking the beads. Well, mine would have if I let her. It is meditative. And then can you guys hear? I've got some background music on. I've got YouTube. I just put in copyright-free solfeggio music. And so this is 532, I believe, that's playing. If you guys can't hear it, I'll go turn it up. It does take practice. Relaxing is not the word I'd use. You know what, though? Just give into it. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, especially your first one is not going to be perfect. And embracing that idea of imperfectly perfect, because what the hell is perfect anyway? You like my crown? It's like knitting and crocheting. I'm a knitter, so yeah, this kind of stuff I totally dig. And a crocheter. I crocheted for like over 20 years. And then I learned knitting, and I haven't picked up crocheting since. Yeah, with that frustrating feeling, that's actually a good lesson. Like, you know, just remembering to, you know, have releasing expectation on the outcome is a good lesson to learn out of this. Releasing expectation of the outcome. I'm going to turn up the music a little bit, okay, you guys? Crochet is a lot easier. I'm glad you're having fun, Janissa, despite all your fumbles. You're dropping and tens of thousands of tries. Om Shreem. Yeah, whenever I'm making these, this is how I do it. I put on some solfeggio music and I just get into it. I've never done it talking to anybody before, so that's a first for me. Om Shreem. And you know what? I just had an idea. For those that are having a hard time with feeling frustrated and maybe some extra spacing, let this be a reminder for you. Let this be an actual tool that you use to remind you, to help you to embrace expectations of outcomes and to embrace the idea of imperfectly perfect. I like that idea. Keeping something that isn't perfect to remind you that imperfect is perfect, and that we do need to release our expectations of outcomes, because Expectations don't help us in many situations. Sometimes we need to just let go of that. Om Shreem. Still got 56 of you guys watching. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are sticking with it. Shreem. You're welcome, Janessa. Om Shreem. Guys, we are getting closer to making a mala. Om Shreem. You know, whatever the outcome is the outcome that's meant for you, right? Oh shit, 20% battery. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna be okay and we don't have to do a part 2. I plugged in. Oh, here, let me turn on my charger. Oh, you had to restart 4 times. Well, maybe it's time to embrace and just use this as practice and get through the end, knowing that it's not going to be what you expect, but that's okay. It's giving you the practice that you need, and you can always take the beads off and redo it after you've gotten that amount of practice. Belinda, this is being recorded and I will post it in the group. I'll post it in the event and in our group as well, and in my YouTube, Ames Alchemy. Janessa, can you sing that song for me? Dude, should I put that song on? If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself and try again, try again. I'm not a singer. Om Shreem. Damn it, I'm getting the low battery notification. If I cut out automatically, know that I'll plug in and get back to you as soon as I can. I am plugged in, so hopefully the charging will boost us enough to keep us going. If not, I will do the remainder on a second part, which is not really what I wanted to do, but if I have to, I will. Om Shreem. And as you're getting close to the end, just watch those beads on the end because they're not knotted on, so make sure they don't fall off. Om Shreem. Om Shreem. Actually, I'm not going to play that song because it might be a copyright issue and I don't want the video to go down. But I'm singing it in my head. If you guys don't know, who is it, Janessa, that sings that song? It's an early 90s song, isn't it? Dust yourself off. Oh, Destiny. Is it Destiny's Child that sings that? Who is it that sings that? Yeah, doing it at a table will definitely be better on your back. Om Shreem. And, you know, as you're saying Om Shreem and knowing that, you know, it means universal abundance and prosperity, actually think of what that means to you as you're singing your Om Shreem, Shreem. Okay, last one, y'all. Om Shreem. Bam. So that's what I got so far, all knotted. All right, I'm gonna catch up on some of the comments while you guys are finishing some of your knots. Do I have enough time to take a quick break out back since I finished knotting? I'm gonna probably move on, especially since I'm having battery issues. But yeah, go run out really quick and be back in like 2 minutes. Taking the dog out real quick, yep. The dog better hurry up and shit. All right, everybody go take a potty break, and hopefully my battery will be fine. But like I said, if it does go out, whatever, go take a potty break or a dog shitting break or whatever. Michelle, are you doing the full 108? Oops. Hurry up, shit, puppy, shit. Judith. My phone is plugged in. I wasn't sure if the amount of charge that's going into the phone is enough charging than the amount of output that it takes to do a video. So that's all, but it is plugged in now. Yes, I love my backyard. I am in Northern California in Mendocino County, which is about a 2-hour drive north of San Francisco. And it's actually starting to get warm. Actually, while we're doing our little potty shit break, I'm going to shut the doors. So I'm gonna do that. You made a design error. I thought it would be pretty to have a spacer between 18 beads except the 2 ends. You can do spacers. There's no reason not to do spacers. I do spacers sometimes. Do I have some on any of these? Yeah. See that? I've got little spacers. See the little tiny copper spacers in between? A pocket mala, Judith, is 27 beads plus a guru bead. This is my personal one, and it's got perfume in it. So sometimes I just like to pick it up and this is my This is citrine and seraphonite. So I use this for asking the angels for prosperity. Hakat, did I say your name right? You're Californian also? The guru bead is going to be this bead right here, the bottom one. It's one that you don't count when you meditate. And then when you get to the very end, like so, and like say you've done the full 108, then you hold the guru bead at the end. And you can, well, Athena, the way I learned from Athena, some of these things that I'm giving you are Athena teachings, and some are from other teachers. But the way that Athena teaches, and I still like to do, is Om Shanti 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 Om. And Shanti meaning peace. Do you ever find the knots too small for the bead? I haven't for most beads because I use the triple F size. When I did the double F, I did have that problem. But if you get bigger beads that have really big holes, then yeah, I could see that being a problem. But most typical like 6-8 millimeter beads are going to be about the same size opening. Yeah, they do feel more special after making them myself. I've got some malas I've got 2 that I bought on Etsy, and I like them because of the kind of beads that are on there, but they're definitely different energy, for sure, than having made it myself. Hakat. Cat lover. Cute. Me too. Me too. Okay, are we ready to move on? And if you don't have all your beads on, I understand. You can rewatch this part. I think it's important to kind of keep going because otherwise we might be doing this forever. So just continue doing your regular knots if you need to continue to add knots, and then just listen to me. And then later you can rewatch the video if you need, or you might remember also. So Kathleen, you shouldn't run out of thread. Too many spacing issues. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna move on. When you have your 2 ends ready like this, we're gonna knot it twice. The first knot, we're gonna knot for the energy of masculine, for sun. So you're just doing like a regular knot like you would knot anything, okay? So this is for masculine, this is for right-sided, this is for sending and sun energy. So that's 1, and then now we're gonna do it again. I've not done this up in the air like this. And then the second knot to hold it tight, here I'm gonna have to go down to the table. The second knot to hold it tight is feminine energy, which is your left side, your receiving or your moon energy, to tie it tight. So now we're bringing in masculine and feminine, sun and moon, sending and receiving energy. And so then you have your mala put together. And then now we are ready to get our wire. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your 2 loose ends. And what'll be nice too about the replay is that you can stop and rewind and rewatch. Stop and rewind and rewatch if you need to. So grab the 2 loose ends. Put them through wherever it is. Put them through the hole. And so, might be hard to see the tiny, there you go. And then now we're gonna add the guru bead. Just to the one side. You still have the looped end hanging there. We're not adding it to that yet. Okay, so then get your guru bead and add it on. And then you can take off your beading needle. So I'm going to show you here. Okay, so we got the guru bead just on the two ends, and we still have this hanging here. So now we're gonna put the needle through the looped end. So set it down. Needle through the looped end, like so. Grab your guru bead, and then stick it through. Can't see it. There we go. Okay, so now, here, let me get this off first. Okay, so I took off my needle, putting it in a safe place so I don't lose it. So now you've got your guru bead on. You guys with me? Now, we're gonna give it a single crossover and a single knot. We're only giving it one knot. This is for oneness. So we're adding the energy of oneness because we are all one. Energy of oneness. Okay, now we're gonna set this aside. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is make our tassel. So grab your thread. I'm gonna do multiple colors. I'm gonna do 3 colors. So put the ends together for 3 colors. Or whatever, you could do a single color, it doesn't matter. What we're gonna do is, I do it around my hand. If you do it just around this amount, it's gonna end up being too short. So what I do is I kind of spread my fingers. So I hold it like this, and then I wrap around all of my fingers like this. And then I grab it between those two, and I create a wind like that. The larger you make it, the larger your tassel's gonna be, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually half it over. So however long this is, it's gonna be half that, plus we're gonna end up cutting some of it. Hang on, does the second thread go through the same hole or the opposite? Through the same hole. It goes the same direction. Yeah, all 4 threads go through the same hole in the same direction. Okay, since I have 3 threads, I'm gonna go around 27 times. You can go around 27 times with only 2 threads. If you have 1 thread, I would probably go around maybe 54 times, just because we're sticking to those same numbers, because 27 times 4 equals 108, 54 times 2 equals 108. So we're sticking with the numbers, and we're bringing in that idea of the numerology and the chakras into it. So I've gone around, how many times I go around? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. All right. Okay, I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna grab through and just hold it up, and it's gonna kind of do a natural little twist like that. That's okay. How we doing, guys? Is this all making sense so far? Okay. So like I mentioned, this might be something you're gonna need to watch multiple times, and that's okay. So we're gonna bring our mala back. I'm gonna separate the loop side and the loose end side like this. And then what I'm gonna do with this is place this over my guru bead so that the thread is in the middle. so that the two sides of these thread is in the middle of my tassel. Does that make sense? Okay, now I'm at the end of wrapping. How to finish. You're just gonna cut it off, put your finger through it, and let it kind of naturally twist like it does. And then we're gonna put it right on here. Hey Jen, nice to see you. If you wanna make one, you're gonna have to watch the replay later when I upload it onto the group. Okay, all right, now we're gonna knot twice. One for masculine, sending sun energy, and then 2 for feminine, receiving moon energy, okay? So we're gonna knot twice, and make sure that this knot does land in the center, okay? If you need to, do a loose knot like that. Just kind of keep it loose. If you want, you can get your measuring tape, kind of give you an idea. Mine is about 5.5, so I'm gonna go 2 3/4 is the middle, so I'm about right. It doesn't have to be exact because we're gonna end up cutting the ends anyway. So don't go down to the minute measurement. It's fine. All right, so there's my masculine sending sun energy knot. And then now I'm gonna do my feminine, receiving, and moon energy knot. Okay. And this is what we got. We're done. Ha, just kidding. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is pick a thread that you want to, what's gonna wrap around here. Let me show you on one that's done. So see how this has got this thread wrapped around the tassel right there? So pick whatever color, or if you're using a single color, that's fine too. I don't know, what do you guys think? Blue or gold? You guys tell me. Blue or gold? First person I see a comment, I'll choose blue or gold. What do you guys think? Gold. Gold it is. Okay. So with this thread, I'm gonna cut off about, I don't know, a little more than a foot. You don't need to measure. All right, this is tricky. My first couple were not nice and neat like this. See how all the threads are beautiful at the above the wrapping? So just know this is going to be imperfectly perfect, right? As is our theme for this. So get your hands and kind of loosen this up and get this kind of nice and tight. And you want the threads to kind of fall naturally as they would, how you would want it to wrap, right? Sorry guys, I already picked the gold. Gold was the first one I saw. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I've got the tassel in my left hand, and with my right hand, I'm going to leave a little bit longer than the length of the tassel, and then with my thumb, let's see if I can get this to show better. With my thumb, I'm gonna hold it down, okay? So make sure that everything in here is nice and just as you want it in your hand, and kind of bring your hand down, let's see, about like that, about that much above, kind of hanging out. Yeah, now I lost my string. This is gonna be tricky. This is going to be tricky, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're gonna wrap clockwise, okay? So 1 for earth. Actually, let's start with air. 1 for air, 1 for fire, 1 for water, 1 for earth. Now we're gonna wrap around for upper realm, middle realm, and lower realm. Okay, so that's 7 wraps total. And then with this and our other one, be careful, keep it nice and tight with your hands. So we've got our 2 ends. We're gonna double knot. So 1 for masculine, sending sun energy, and 1 for feminine, receiving, and moon energy. And we're gonna let that hang down like that. See it? And I'm gonna kind of adjust mine a little bit just to make sure that I'm happy with the placement of it in regards to the top. And I feel pretty good about it. How you guys doing? Okay, so this is what I got so far. Okay, so now what we're going to do, oh, I was going to tell you, hold on a second, where am I at? Nope, that's it, we're good. Okay, scissors, we're ready for scissors. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold the tassel in our hands so that the loops are up here. We are going to cut through the loops so that we cut through the darkness. Let's cut through the darkness. Okay, and you're not gonna get them all, so, oh, there's some. So what you can do is kind of comb through with your scissors. Just kind of comb through and you'll catch the loops with your scissors. So we're gonna comb through the darkness and cut through the darkness. Releasing any and all darkness in any of these materials of silk and stone. Releasing all darkness that does not serve us. There's a loop. Okay. We good? All right. Now for the final part, we need to cut off the negative energy and make it pure. So get your tassels kind of nice and straight as possible. Use your fingers, use your hands to kind of get it all relaxed. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold it in a position that I can cut easier. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut off the negative energy, make it all nice and straight, making this mala pure for the recipient, which will be one of you. This one will be. I don't know who yet. I'll post the completed picture of it and I'll let you guys comment if you're interested and called to this one. All right. I'm gonna cut a little bit more, release more negative energy. Of course, the better scissors you have that's good for thread, the better nice cut you'll get. Well, you know what? This group has given so much to me in so many ways. Not just Athena's teachings, but all of you guys, and I love everybody's offerings, and people have helped me out and gifted me things through the time that I've been with this group as well. And so we all have something to offer. So this is one of my offerings, teaching the mala and gifting it to someone. So this one is celestite, which is an angelic quartz, and hematite. So The hematite being for, there we go. What do you think? So the Buddha heads are hematite with titanium covering. And then the celestite for angelic energy. Isn't the cutting the negativity feeling good? Okay, so if you guys want to stick around, actually, you know what? I still have a little bit more negativity to cut. We're gonna go through and actually go around our mala, and I'm looking for suggestions of what mantra we should do. There's several mantras. We could just do Shanti, Shanti, Shanti for peace. We can do Om. We could do a specific chakra mantra. Oh, Kathleen, I'm sorry. It does take practice. It does take practice. So give me an idea of what mantra you guys would like to do. And I'm going to also teach you, I'm going to teach you the mudras, because when I do a 27 bead mala, what I do is I go around with one hand doing this, and then I do mudras on the other hand. And when I get around to the end, what I do then, when I'm ready to go over to the other side, I go to the second mudra and the third mudra and the fourth mudra. Lakshmi. Okay, we're gonna do Lakshmi as our my mind. Lakshmi Mahadevi. I don't know what the Mahadevi is, so you'll have to teach me. Lakshmi Mahadevi. Please tell me what Lakshmi, I know what Lakshmi is, but the Mahadevi is, because I'm not as familiar. Okay, so I want to tell you mudras. So I want to explain the finger energies, and there's several different ways, different teachings, different, Devi is guru, and Mahadevi. So what's the Maha part? 55 live, way to go, Sheila, woohoo. Yeah, please tell me, because I want to know what it is that we're saying, so I better understand. Okay, so 5 fingers have different meanings, right? I'm going to teach you a way to remember this. So we're going to start with the pinky. In India, putting your pinky up means you need to go to the toilet. Isn't that great? So if you're ever in India and you need to know where a toilet is, go around with your pinky. So what are toilets filled with? Water, okay? Pinky is your water energy. Sound good? Okay, middle finger. Middle finger is, we are familiar with it as your ring finger, your marriage finger, or your connection. So you're connecting and grounding to earth, to earth energy. So we got water, we got earth. Middle finger. Middle finger is the tallest finger. And so if you think of it, it's closest to space, it's closest to spirit. So this is your spirit finger. And then your forefinger, your pointer finger, shh. And when you go shh, you're breathing air. So this is your air finger, okay? So water, earth, spirit, air, and then we have fire left, okay? So when we do mudras, first finger, I got a couple notes. This is also for increased concentration and creativity. Increased concentration and creativity. So this is connecting fire to air. Fire to air is increasing concentration and creativity. The middle finger is patience and discipline, stability. When you need strength to get through something, this is a way to help you get through a difficult task. Okay? Patience, discipline, stability. And so that is your spirit and fire together. All right, ring finger. This is your earth and fire. So earth and fire together are about energy, health, balance. and it helps bring positive changes to your life. Okay? And then pinky finger, which is your water, so water and fire together, is about communication, openness, and intuitive knowledge. So as we're going through, we're doing the energy of our mantra, but we're also bringing in the energy of our mudras. So I'll do this with you here, okay? All right. So I don't know that I actually saw the full definition of Lakshmi Maha. I think Maha was mother. Oh, shoot, I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to do one that I know and remember. I'm gonna do Shanti to do something simple and easy, okay? So as we do this, you want the mala to be in your hand that you're using, in the palm of your hand, and you're gonna wanna go with your middle finger and your thumb to hold that first bead. Okay, see how I've got my middle finger and thumb to hold the first bead? I've got some notes I wanted to tell you about that. So hold on a second. Thanks for being patient with me. Sealer enclosure. Oh, mudras. I wanted to tell you the definition of mudra. Mudra means seal or closure. So we're sealing in the energy of increased concentration and creativity, sealing in the energy of patience, discipline, stability, sealing in the energy of positive changes to our life, of energy, health, and balance, sealing in the energy of communication, openness, and increased intuitive knowledge. Okay, so that I wanted to explain what mudra meant. There was something else and I am not finding it. I will add it to the comments. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Middle finger, there it is. Middle finger is your sky or your energy, and thumb in some ways can also be earth in different ways. So they're saying when you're doing the actual going around like this, you have sky as your middle finger and earth as your thumb finger. There's so many different beliefs. Use what you want. Nothing is right or wrong. Honestly, use your intuition, what makes sense to you. If this is too much for you, that's fine. If you want to just go around, that's fine. Whatever works for you is what this is about. I'm just giving you information that I've learned and a few notes that I put down to kind of share with you guys. All right, so we're going to do Shanti for peace, okay? So I'm going to hold the first mudra, which is for the increased concentration and creativity. And we're gonna go Shanti, 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 Shanti. Now another thing I learned, if you want to adopt this, you don't have to. Before we cross over, they say that your guru bead, your guru is your teacher, and you don't want to cross your teacher. So in order to save yourself from crossing your teacher, you give it to earth and bring it back to sky, and then you're crossed over and you're ready to go. And I'll do it the next time around too to show you again. So now we're ready to go to the second mudra. Second mudra is patience and discipline, stability, and when you need strength to help you get through. So we're going to continue with Shanti. So Shanti, 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 Shanti. Whew, I just got chills. Shanti, 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 Shanti. I'm getting teary-eyed, you guys. This is powerful. This is powerful energy work, you guys. As I'm saying Shanti, I'm imagining peace, just pure peace, peace in the world, peace for the person who's going to receive this, peace for me in this moment as I go through these. Okay, you guys ready to move on? Okay, I'm going to give it to earth. And I'm going to give it to sky. You ready? Third mudra. Ring finger. This is about energy and health, about balance, and bringing positive changes to our lives. Okay, here we go with Shanti. Shanti, 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 Shanti. Okay. Give it to earth. Give it to sky. Fourth mudra. This is our fourth round to make a complete 108. Pinky finger with our pinky. So this is also helping us remember, because when you go through and saying all of those, you kind of forget which round was I on? I don't remember. All right, pinky is about communication, openness, and increased intuitive knowledge. I've got a bird trying to get into my window over there. It's probably feeling my peace energy going on here. Huh? Okay, you ready? Shanti, 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 Shanti. All right, now we're going to hold on to the guru bead. Place it in the middle of your hands. And this is where we completely seal it all. Om, Shanti, 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 Om. I see some of you are explaining Devi, she who is goddess. The Mahi part, what's that part is what I'm asking. All right, something I was going to do before I did this. I had cleansed these beads before, but I'm going to cleanse it again. It'll still hold some of the energy of what we did here today. I meant to do this earlier. I totally forgot. It's fine. So I've got some copal in here. There it goes. Mahi is great. Thank you. Great goddess. Lakshmi, great goddess. Okay. And then I probably would have done this earlier too had I thought of it. I've got a little SG sample of Majestic Temple. I have copal inside of a, this was an SG thing, and it's a butane incense burner. And inside I've got some copal. Can't really see it very well, but there's copal inside. Okay, so I'm gonna anoint this also with some Majestic Temple. Just gonna put some of this actually on my hands. I'm gonna anoint these beads with Majestic Temple and the tassel. so that whoever this goes to, it'll smell like Majestic Temple. I'm looking forward to being able to choose somebody. I'm not going to choose anybody during the live here. I'm going to post it and see what calls to me. Okay, guys. That's all I got, folks. That's all, folks. There she is. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I can't believe 50 of you stuck with me through the whole thing. That's amazing. And sending you peace and love. And thank you for being here with me. And I will post this video. So please rewatch. You can rewind and rewatch parts that were difficult. You can make comments and I'll do my best to keep up with all of that. And I will, I'll make a specific thread. I'll make a separate thread actually just in the group of a picture of this with those who are called to it, okay? Okay, love you guys. Oh, you guys are so beautiful. All right, bye-bye.